Hello and good night. Um, I am Jinoski, and this is the first video for my new YouTube channel. So far, so happy. I would like to start by introducing myself and telling you who I am. Well, actually, I wanted to start by mentioning that today the moon it's in Aries. It's a new moon in Aries, and it's very interesting that I'm doing this video right now. I think it's like perfect timing, I guess. Because if you know anything about astrology, new moons are all about new beginnings, and Aries is all about initiative and the spark. So basically, I don't know, I decided to make this video. And you might be wondering, so what the hell is So Far So Happy? And So Far So Happy is a store, an online store that I opened. I really wanted to tell the story behind it, just on the surface, basically, for now. Um, because it's been a long journey, I think. It's more like a personal journey, and that's what I feel like sharing tonight. I feel like sharing that personal story. I'm originally from Colombia. Interesting country. I was born in the capital, Bogota, and when I was 13, my family moved to the United States, and well, I guess I'm just saying that to basically, basically, um, letting you know like where I'm from, because I understand I have an accent, and some people might be wondering. When I was about 18, I believe so. This was the time I was graduating from high school, and I was like looking into what was I going to do with my life, and um, regular teenager graduation time stuff. But I always been, and my mother has always been very like mystical, like she loved astrology. She was always very interested in astrology. So there was this seminar on astrology, and I was very excited about it. And I went, and when I went there, they gave me this thing. It's called the natal chart, and it's basically like a picture of the sky when you were born. So like um, where all your planets, star, and like the houses they are. Like um, I went to the seminar, and it was great. I mean, it was amazing. I learned a lot of stuff, but oof, it was too many. It was like too much for an 18-year-old. Um, but it was pretty fun. I learned the basics of astrology, like what the sign means, and well, I mean, like I said, it was a little too much information for me at the time. So anyway, I was like 20, and I decided to move to New York. I was thinking moving to out of my house and moving out of Florida, which was the state I was living in. And like, because I wanted to be a fashion designer, so I was looking for like a more fashion friendly kind of city. So anyway, I remember that around that time I had like my second seminar, and I remember asking the astrologer, the teacher, if it was a good idea for me to move to New York. And he was like, absolutely. You are from uh, Saturn degree. He basically said that yes, it was a great idea, that I was gonna do great because Virgos and Capricorns and and New York being Capricorn, which I was like, awesome, I'll do it. Like it was like that. I mean, I always knew I wanted to do it, and I don't think I wasn't gonna do it if it wasn't for that. But it was like that extra, yeah, you should do it. It will help you, I guess. It will be good for you. It will be good for you. I moved to New York, and I did. Um, I will say the fashion designer thing didn't work out. I was, I am a moon in Aquarius, and this is when I start like speaking my language that I love. Anyway, so I'm a moon in Aquarius. I'm always like, I always kind of blame my weird things on my moon in Aquarius. But I always was like, I like this, but I don't like this. Like I was from place to place. I was always getting so involved on things, and then I will realize, no, I don't like this. I actually don't like this. I can't do this for more than 2 weeks. I like very yeah, I couldn't just, I wasn't satisfied like with any job or career. It was just a confusing time. It was just astrology kind of went to the back, like I always try to like, honestly, I had this chart everywhere, you can see how old it is. And I every time I had a question or something, I would just try to be like, oh, but like, what should I do, what should I do? But never really knowing much. Like I was very distracted by other things, obviously, like about work and and moving to a new city. And it was the first year living in New York was a little bit of a tough one, but it was a good year, definitely a great year. 2012 when I moved to New York. It was a big, 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 big year for me. A lot of changes. And a lot of personal growing, a lot of personal growing, like actually getting to know myself, actually getting to know exactly what I like. And because I feel that many times we get lost on our friends and on our family, and we start like forgetting who we actually are. Let's go to 2017 and the great American eclipse. Yeah, oof, that eclipse it was magical, I think. um, at least to me, I remember the day perfectly. I remember the day. Um, I remember the light. How the light went down, and it was. I think it was this. This was something that was. I mean, I always had this dream, this idea of having a store. That's maybe why I was very interested into fashion design. Because I had this desire of having like my shop. you know and I try many times. And it didn't work out. It wasn't like it was like I wasn't inspired enough. Like the things that I was choosing to do, they weren't like exciting enough to continue to do it over and over again and kind of like make a shop out of it. this eclipse just came, and it is I rem- I was so excited about this eclipse because and the fact that it hasn't happened in many years, and wow, I was like, so I look into the predictions, and I got all like my astrology came back like whoa, and it was that I remember it was during that solar eclipse that my astrology, everything just like started kicking back in. I was like, whoa. So, I started looking into YouTube and about astrology, and I just got carried away. All that information that I had from before that it didn't make much sense when I was 18. And now finally I was like, oh yeah, I know this. Oh, I know this. Oh, that makes so much sense. And yeah, like it was like magical. Like I remember that day so clearly that I and with those predictions that were coming in around that time with the solar eclipse and all that, and I obviously like, oof, I continued to go into like getting into astrology again, and like having there are some amazing astrology videos in YouTube. I mean, it's unbelievable. It is so kind that many of these people they put their knowledge out there for free, and it's so interesting. And at the same time, and that I heard on the predictions this thing about a grand water trine, which is a astrology aspect or a shape of um three different trines, going from on the water signs, so you might already know that the water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So anyway, I happen to have this water trine right here, in my natal chart. So they were saying how the water trine is activated, so and any water flowing, um, art, intuition. I mean, everything that has to do with water. Um, flow was flowing. It was going to flow, and it definitely did. It it was a time of clarity. It's like everything started to make sense finally. Like and I came out with the idea of making these candle holders, with the signs and and the ruling planet, since it's the moon in Aries today, so I have my Aries candle holder going on, and I also have the moon candle holder. Anyway, yeah, I was like because I was painting. That's the thing, like everything just came together, and I don't know if you can see here as well. I'm gonna be using this chart a lot. Everybody's gonna know my natal chart. So anyway, um my son is it's right here, which is in the 12th house. The 12th house. So it's all about hidden talents for what I seen on the internet. I recently just like, yeah, what does this mean? What does that mean? What does this mean? So anyway, and it talk about hidden talents, and yeah, it's very interesting because I never really knew that I knew how to paint, or that I could paint, or that I could do many things for that matter. Like I never really knew I could do them, but I actually did them and they're fine, like Um, so anyway, I'm kind of just exploding this natal chart. Like, I just love it. I just love astrology so much, and I love it because it's useful tool, to like to kind of guide you towards where you want to be. Because and if you are the kind of person that believes in destiny, and we're here for a reason, and that we're not just this physical human body, if you're one of those people, then dive a little bit into it. Get your natal chart. It's so easy. It's for free. You can get it for free. I will definitely leave a link below, um, for you guys to check out your natal chart. All you need to know is what time you were born, and the place. I mean, I understand that for some people it's a little bit complicated, but there are ways to know. Just ask your family. Um, and yes, it will help you so much, I think, because it has helped me a lot. And not, like I said, it's not that I think that I wouldn't have done the things I done if it wasn't because I have my chart and I can go and look at it and see if it fits or not. No, no, it's really not like that. But it is like, it's like kind of telling you, yes, you're in the right direction, and if you're feeling bad at some point, then maybe you look at it and it's like, yeah, maybe it's because I'm doing something that maybe I'm not supposed to be doing, or that maybe I shouldn't put too much energy into this. I don't know. I think we can save ourselves a little bit of time, though. I really do think that this is like I said, I first have this information when I was 18, and I couldn't grasp it at all. Like, I was like, and I remember my astrologer, he will predict some things for me, and I will be like, you what, me? No, I think you're only now I'm starting to, and oh wow, there is something in this. There is something in this, that I think is worth looking at, and it's fun too. Um, I do believe that we should know ourselves. We should always try to figure out who we are first, and most importantly, yes, because I think that we're here for a reason. That we're here for a reason, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is not my first experience in camera. It is it is something that kind of just calls you and tells you you gotta do it. And I'm not saying everybody's just gonna come into YouTube and no, it's not that. But for everyone to discover what we like, who we are, what, because we feel so good, I think, when we're fulfilling our destiny. Like, our destiny is there, and it is our destiny because it makes us feel great inside. It just makes us feel happy with what we're doing. mm. And yes, I know I talk a lot and I kind of go here and there. I will love to, oof, and I will tell more stories about how I got the ideas, and I don't know. I just would like to share what um what I'm doing. And before I leave, I would like to pull out a card from my oracle. Uh, Chakra Wisdom Oracle. These cards are very beautiful. Like they're so beautiful. And it's so interesting that renewal came out just right there. Oh, very interesting card. And I just picked it up. I know it was just there. I just picked it up. It was in the front. The moon is in Aries. So just the red tells me it's all about Aries. And that energy of oof, starting something, just doing it. And yes, I think it's the perfect card for today, because tonight actually, because it's just so powerful. Then you can see here that there is winter and here is spring, so, and we are in that moment, we're changing seasons here. So it's like really cold and windy, but then it gets pretty warm and everybody's outside and having fun, and then they're like, oh, it's too chilly, it's too windy, let's go back home. Or I felt like that yesterday. It was a beautiful day. Today has been rather cloudy here. Very, very windy. It's like, ooh, this is big. And I do think like this moon in Aries in conjunction with Uranus, oof, is very powerful. It's like I can see it, like people are getting married, having kids, making YouTube videos. It's powerful, but it's the beginning of something amazing. And I am ready for it, and I hope everyone is ready for it. I wish you happy, very, very happy new beginnings. And I think I will see you maybe in a week or something. And let's see if I dare to have a live, which, oof. Bye.